Hey, what's up, my cochinos and cochinas? I'd like to welcome you back to another fucking video. Today, we're gonna get down with some Chipotle. I got a Chipotle bowl on deck. And also, before you leave, because you're bored as fuck, we're gonna talk about the time that I was taking a karate class and I ended up falling while doing one of the moves, and I'm gonna tell you what ended up happening when I fell. So you're gonna wanna stick around to the end. Also, I'm going to have some trivia questions along the way that you guys can answer to show that you guys are actively engaged, because I don't want you guys falling asleep and shit. I don't want to know that you guys have narcolepsy and shit like that. You know, go drink yourself a Pepsi, get some caffeine in your system, do what you got to do. Go ahead and head over to the Teespring TrejosWorld store, cop yourself a cochino or cochina mask. You can also download a song that I released called Hot Cheetos and Takis. It's only if you're down though, homie. Anyways, thanks for the support. I appreciate all the purchases and orders. TrejosWorld family for life. Let me go ahead and show you the Chipotle bowl that we got on deck. This is what they call a keto lifestyle bowl. Now, you don't have to be doing the keto lifestyle to enjoy this bowl, but you can get it if you want to, eat less calories, if you want to get some fats in and get full. The reason I'm getting it is because it only has 590 calories, and it has all the things that I like. It has guacamole, it has cheese, chicken, some salsa, and it has the cauliflower lime rice. I'm going to go ahead and get intimately involved with this in a second. And then also, you might be wondering, like, come on, bro, you're Mexican. Why are you getting a bowl? You should have got a burrito. Well, I got a couple tortillas on deck. Now, you might be like, those tortillas look like a disgrace, homie. They're sun-dried tomato carb balanced tortillas. So, yeah, they are kind of a disgrace, but hey, they do the job. It's about 160 calories for these two instead of the 300 that you're going to get if you get the Chipotle flour tortilla, all right? So anyways, let me go ahead and show you what else I got. I got a fork. And then I'm going to go ahead and drink another energy drink. I had one earlier, but I want to keep the party going. You know what I mean? You got to stay away from the powers and only mess with the liquids. Pause. Also, as some of you may or may not know, depending on when I release this video, I'm doing intermittent fasting. Today is day 6 of my intermittent fast. And I figured there'd be no better way to keep my fast going and keep my livelihood going and keep my will to live going than to make a video mukbang, old school. You guys wanted one of these, you've been wanting one. And then to show off my Kings hat as well. Sacramento Kings fan here. I live right by Sacramento and Stockton. But that doesn't matter because my favorite football team is the New York Giants and I don't live nowhere near New York. So anyways, let's go ahead and get intimately involved with this, and then we'll go ahead and get into that story time. Let me go ahead and get a bite in. Officially breaking my fast after 19 hours. All right. Looks like a little taco. Let's go ahead and take a bite. All right. I wish I can keep the food in view like all the other mukbangers do. That rhymed, not intentionally. But anyway, I wish I can keep the food in view like all the other mukbangers do. But at this moment, this is my setup and I can't. Also, another update. I'm getting laid off from my job today. So, other exciting news, right? I'm getting laid off. So, yeah. I'm not too down in the dumps, though, because I have about 5 other job opportunities. All right. Hit the like button as well if you made it this far in the video, which isn't really that far at all. I mean, if you don't usually make it further than this, then man, your attention span needs to be checked by a doctor. All right. So, one tortilla already down. It was in the cold summer of 1998. Yes, the summer was cold. I was visiting China. Now, you might be wondering, come on, bro, you were visiting China. What were you doing? A construction job? No, I wasn't. I was only like 16 years old. But I was 16 years old and visiting China for a school trip. So our school trip, we were really focused on like Chinese history and things of that nature. So some of us were able to get our yen together and pay for this trip to go. And I was one of the ones that wanted to go. And I wanted to go because I like Chinese food. That was the only reason. So we ended up going. And back then I was about like, I don't know, maybe a little bit bigger than I am now. I was around like 385 pounds, right? So I was pretty heavy. And I was just a tad bit shorter than I am now. Kind of like the difference between a shower and a grower. So I was there. We got to China, and I was there. And I decided, while I'm here, why don't I lose some weight? The best way to lose weight for me was like exercise. That's the only way I thought that you could lose weight was exercise. No other way. And especially because I didn't want to admit that, hey, I got to cut down on food. I didn't want to do that. So I was like, exercise is cool. So I decided to join a class. And every gym there was karate. So maybe I wasn't really open-minded, or maybe I just kind of saw it that way. I could be wrong. If you're Chinese or from China, comment below and let me know if that's all you guys have is karate for exercise. I doubt it. I'm pretty sure I was just closed-minded and didn't really look outside. I only looked at one place, and it was just a karate place. All right, so I ended up going to this karate place that I signed up, for like a 7-day membership because I was only going to be there for a week. Let me go ahead and take another bite of this delicious keto lifestyle bowl. The way I take a bite is get a tortilla and scoop some of the food up, which isn't really working. It's falling right back out. So let me try again from here while getting guac on my hands. It's cool. I've had worse on my hands. So I was there. I took the 7-day trial. I practiced. Didn't learn much because it was only 7 days. But like I said, I was just really doing it for the exercise. Guac might be extra, but man, it's good. This bowl is like $12. Not the cheapest. They charge you like $2 extra if you want the cauliflower rice, and they charge you like $2-3 more if you want guac. This bowl is like pre-priced. It's a preset amount of $12, so it's really up to you how you want to do it. I was going to get a chicken bowl and then just kind of alter it to mimic this bowl, but use real rice. But then I thought about it long and hard and decided not to. So I was like, you know what, let me just get it as is, as it's made. I don't really need real rice. I could deal with cauliflower rice right now, even though I'm not technically low carb. So not technically, not literally, not any Lee. Speaking of Lee, so I was in China. I was taking this karate class. About 6 days in, the sensei said, my son, he was talking to his son. I don't know, his son was running around. He was like 3 years old, running around the gym, acting crazy. But then he looked at me, he's like, hey, fat boy from America, I need you to do something. I was like, what? He's like, I need you to learn the roundhouse. I was like, okay. He's like, you've learned half of it. I'm like, oh, okay, you taught me that before? He's like, no, you're round and you're big as a house, so you can learn half of it. I'm like, okay, we got a comedian over here, right? Pat Morita, whatever. So he was like, honestly, I want you to just learn this kick. Little did I know that I think he was doing it just because he wanted to see a fat guy lift his leg up and see how high I could. But, anyway, I was with it. I was down. So, he taught me all the stretches that I needed to learn to be able to pull the roundhouse off. What's going to happen next? It's going to sound very unbelievable, but let's go ahead and get into some trivia, alright? Hey, I made it. I wish you could have saw. You probably are like, you're lying, you didn't make anything. Only thing you made was me wet. Alright, so, trivia. Let me just be honest with you real quick. I don't have any trivia pre-planned, so I'm just going to come up with some stuff. off the top of my head. All right. So let's go ahead and do it. All right. How many Super Bowls have the Bucs won in their whole NFL career of being around? All right. Is it 1, 2, or 7? Comment below. Let me know. If you answer 2, you may be right, but then again, you may not, because I don't actually know the answer. I think it's 2. They won like in 2002, and then they won recently. All right. One more NFL Bucs question. How many playoff games in the years that the Bucs have won the Super Bowl, how many playoff games have they lost? Yes, that was a trick question. If they would have lost any, then they wouldn't have made it to the Super Bowl. All right. Okay, enough of that. So, I go to do the roundhouse. I can keep the food in the frame a little bit now. I'm getting full, by the way. There's a lot of fiber in those tortillas. I go to do the roundhouse. Apparently, it's not good enough. So, Sensei's like, my son. And I look over at his son to see what his son's doing now. But he was actually talking to me this time. My son. I'm like, yes, what? Why do you call me that? Call me mijo. He says, when you do it, he's like, look towards the sky. I'm like, well, I would, but there's a ceiling above us. He's like, you know what I mean. I'm like, okay. Go try it again. I look up. Still not good enough for him, right? At this point, I'm winded. Might be like, you're winded already, bro? Just from 2 roundhouses? Try to do a roundhouse. Then come back and comment below if it got you winded or not. If it didn't, then maybe I'm just that out of shape, or was that out of shape back in the cold summer of 1998. So, I'm like, okay. Gotta lift my leg higher. I gotta look to the sky. And I do it. I go, I lift my leg as high as possible. I look as high as possible to the sky. I slip and I fall. Everybody starts busting up laughing. I hear it for like a split second, like a roar of laughter. But then I hear like a breaking, cracking sound. Now, let me tell you, I don't think I told you. This karate dojo was on the 3rd floor of an old building. An old wood building. So, I bust through not just 1, but 2 actual floors after I fall down on my ass. Boom, fall on my ass, and then fall through the 1st floor. And then because of the momentum and all the weight, I bust through a 2nd floor. I believe when I bust through that 2nd floor, there was like some Chinese women doing jazzercise. I don't know what they called it. I think it was jazzercise or something like that. And then the 3rd one I landed on. Luckily, it was a mat manufacturer. So, those who manufacture the mats for martial arts, gyms, dojos. So I landed on a bunch of mats. It still hurt. And I had like red all over my body from the landing. But I didn't break anything or get seriously hurt. Which I'm very thankful for. So I landed on that 3rd mat. Everybody was just cracking up. I could hear them. I looked up there. I really felt like I was looking toward the sky that time. And they were all just busting up laughing. The craziest thing happened after this, right? So I'm on the ground and I'm just like, dude, I can't wait to go back to America. This is crazy. The craziest thing happened. I don't know how this happened. And you guys, if you guys know science, explain it to me. When I got to the bottom, there was a crack in the floor, right? I didn't break through anything else because it was the bottom of the floor. But even though I was on the bottom floor, there was still like, I don't know what they call it, like a crawl space under the ground or the floor that I was on. The sun was shining through. I was on the ground and the sun was shining through the bottom. And it was weird because I started thinking about, I don't know if you guys know this, but like those cartoons back in the day where they would like dig under the ground and they would get, China would be under the ground. It started making me think of that. And then, I kind of was just like, that's just a sign from up above or down below that things are going to be okay. Even when I fall, the sun is still going to shine through, right? So I kind of just embraced what I had saw. I made it my sun. So thank you for watching. If you guys liked the video, comment below and let me know. And if you made it this far into the video, go ahead and say that tangerines and oranges might not be the same, but my love for the game will always remain.